Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Peeling Back the Label. Today we have a fantastic author today, S.R. Fabrico, and we'll be talking about her book, Keeping Janie. The first book was Calling Janie. The second book is Keeping Janie, and then we're probably going to even hear about the third part of that book coming out. The third of the book number 3. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys coming on. And let's get SR. Here we go. We've been having trouble. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if it's the internet or what. Oh, I hear you.
Hi.
Hello, I hear you, but I don't see you. Isn't that funny?
You don't see me? Let's see. I see me.
If there was other people, okay. Anybody who is on, can you see both of us? Because that's what happened one other time. And then when I posted the video on Instagram, it showed both of us. It was like the weirdest thing. I mean, I'd rather see you because it's way funner, you know?
I'm here. I can see me. I can see you.
You could see me?
I can see you.
Wow, see, I can't see you. That is so weird. Well, I'm going to go with it. I'll just have to, unfortunately, I won't be able to see you. It won't be as much fun, but let's just do it.
Okay.
Okay?
Good.
If you're okay with that. I'm sure both of us will show up when when I post it on Instagram.
And hey, if not,
but I just wanted to.
and if not, we
I'm
can
sorry?
do it again.
Oh, yeah. It's all good. We're all good. I just wanted to tell everybody a little bit about SR. She's an award-winning author, and the awards just keep on coming. And I think you were saying something on another interview I heard that you're aiming to get a certain amount of awards or something, you were saying?
No, not really. I mean, I just,
Oh.
yeah, I don't think I have.
For some reason, the number 11 is sticking in my head.
Oh, I've already passed that.
You already tapped that. Okay, even better. And I think the reason why you are so competitive and want to win all those contests is because you are a world champion dance coach.
Yes.
Right?
Kind of a crazy little sidebar. Yes.
Yes. So I think that's it. And also you're an esteemed speaker. So I'm sure that has something to do with it.
Yes, I have done all of those things. In a former life, I was a competitive dance coach. I actually took my team every year to the World Championships, and it was a lot of fun. We got to compete against different countries and represent the United States of America. It's like, I don't know, it's a cool experience, and the kids really enjoyed like meeting all the international teams, and they would swap, just memorabilia, pins, whatever, like different things that they would bring, trinkets, and they would swap. It was pretty cool. And yeah, we worked really hard for years, and came up short a lot of years of the win, and actually finally won in 2015. We had some silver and bronze medals too, but finally won the gold in 2015. And it was actually a really cool year because it's the first time ever that it was, I think it was the first time ever that USA took gold, silver, and bronze. So it was, so it was really fun. We were all on stage celebrating. So yes, I think that writing, when I retired from coaching, I feel like writing kind of filled that gap. I know that might not seem like a correlation, but the dance routines that I would choreograph, they always had a story, and they kind of told, they told a story from beginning to end. They were only 2 minutes and 15 seconds, but the goal was always for the audience to feel something when they watched the routine, not just, like whether it was sadness or excitement or, whatever, but like the dancers would draw them in and feel them by kind of living and expressing the story that we told them. So it wasn't really so that you, the audience member, could follow along like a book and know the story, but the story was for the dancers to go from beginning to end to capture the audience into that feeling. And so I really enjoyed it, and I'm super creative. And when I retired from coaching, I feel like I never in a million years thought that I would be a writer. But I like, I know, the story. I wrote my first book for my husband, and that wasn't really, to be published or anything like that. And I loved it. And I was like, man, this is really fun. And I really enjoyed it. And I do it now. I do a lot of it, and I'm looking forward to doing more of it. I'm actually starting a new business called the Bookshoppe Fundraising.
Oh,
So we can talk about that if you want, but just
yeah.
trying to make books, a little bit more of my livelihood. And yeah, I really enjoy it. And I think it's because I spent 25 years, doing a lot of creative things with dance and cheer even. And I don't know, books are my outlet for that. So I've really enjoyed writing.
Yeah, I could definitely see. My daughter did dance her whole time, and while she was in school. Actually, she's in college and she's still doing dance. But so I understand about the storytelling and stuff like that. But I could definitely see the correlation. I mean, you have to, organize and get this book dance all together and make sure all the pieces fit together. And so to me, it's just like it is a dance, but it's a way long, it's a lot longer dance than the 2-minute one. But I
Yeah.
definitely could see, and that's probably why you're good at it, because you're good at organizing and, following certain deadlines and stuff. I'm sure that has helped you with your writing.
Yes, absolutely. I self-impose deadlines a lot of times, but I do really try hard to stick to them. I unfortunately for my readers of the Southport series that have read Call Her Janie and Keeping Janie that was just released in February, we're on tour. Keeping Janie's on tour with you right now, which is super exciting.
Lots of
Book
4
three,
and 5 stars.
yes. Um, book three, Janie's Hope, is the third and final book in the series, and my goal was to really try to have it out in June. I really wanted to put out Keeping Janie and Janie's Hope super close together for the readers, so they didn't have to wait long for the finale. And I got sick, and I was not able to meet my deadline. So Janie's Hope has been pushed back a little bit, but I am feeling better, and I've dove back in, and I'm working on it as we speak. So
Cheers to that. I don't know if
yes,
I can't see you, but I don't know if you're at work
here
or at home, but
I'll get my mug.
cheers,
Here's my mug. Cheers.
cheers to feeling good.
Yes.
Um, so, so, Janie's Hope, when do you think it might come out?
So,
I lost you. I can't hear. Mm.
yeah. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, I can hear you
Yep.
now.
Late summer, early fall is my hope.
Oh, okay. So that's great. That
Books,
means
fingers crossed.
yeah, I mean 2 books in the same year?
Yeah. Fingers crossed. I think that if I don't have it out by like late September, early October at the latest, I feel like then you're kind of getting into like Halloween horror book releases, and then into like the Christmas book releases. So January is never really a good time to release a book, I feel like, because everybody's just coming down from Christmas. Nobody's buying anything. So I feel like, unfortunately for my readers, if I can't meet that late summer, early fall deadline, it'll be 2025, but probably February again, 2025. But I'm really trying hard to get it out, at the latest by early October.
That's great. And I mean the thriller with October,
Yeah,
that might
you're right.
that might work.
It could work. You're right. You're right.
You got, come on, this is the marketing aspect. we,
Yes, absolutely.
we got to do that. But I wanted to show everybody the book. I don't know if you have a book on you as
I
well,
do.
but look at this beautiful cover. Your covers always come out so good. Like, I'm all excited. I can't even wait to see the third one. I love it.
I love the cover. I especially love this cover, and I actually redid Call Her Janie's cover, so it matches. It matches because when I
Oh,
wrote this book originally, when I was designing the cover, it was going to be a standalone. And so I designed the cover before I had decided it was going to be, you know, a trilogy. And then when I decided it was going to be a trilogy, I changed the cover. So you can see like the spines match and look really good. I guess you can't see because you can't see me, but
No, so you
hopefully
don't. So
everybody
it's not
else
the
can
picture
see
of the
me.
boat anymore, like the in the mists.
I see my friend Arlen. Oh my goodness, Arlen joined. Yay. She was on my dance team that
Aw.
we were talking about, actually. She is a world champion dancer. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
congratulations, Arlen.
She's an adult now, living her best life. But
Hey, that's what it's all about.
yes,
She should be living her best life because we only
absolutely.
have one.
That's right.
Speaking of inspiration and whatnot, um, what SR sent me, you know, obviously the book and a beautiful bag, and this bookmark came with the book. And before I even read the book, I looked at the bookmark, and it says, "Hold on to hope, unwavering hope, and faith that things will work out." And then when I opened the book and I started reading the prologue, it says, this is the one particular character's name is Gray, and it says, "Life has a knack for altering course in ways we can't possibly fathom. I believe that's why I, like other human beings, hold on to hope, unwavering hope, and faith and faith that things will work out how they are intended to carry us forward into tomorrow." And I find you as an author, uh, well, I'm going to be a little biased because I know you're a Yankee, and you know us Yankees have to stick together. And you you just tell it as it is, like as an author. And I like that about you, and I see it all throughout, you know, throughout the book, especially with Lizzie when she's talking to herself. I can hear that Yankee feisty attitude, which I loved. And I just think you're a really positive person, and you have a lot to give, especially even like with all the journals. I mean, we didn't even mention that. SR has written numerous athletic journals and a self-help journal, if anybody wants to look that up on Amazon. And I think, again, this all falls back with the dancing stuff that you know, you needed to be inspirational, and you needed to have that positive attitude, you know, for all your dancers. And then you proceeded to do that with your journals. And now I see it in with your book. So can you tell us a little bit about this quote and whatnot, and how you came across it, or, you know, how did you think of it? You know, can you give us a little bit more detail?
Yeah, absolutely. So I always write my, either, you know, if it's the prologue or the first chapter, like the beginning of the book, I always write it last. So I write the book, and then I think about the book and kind of how, you know, how did the book end up going? Because doesn't always go the way I plan it. Sometimes the characters just, they wander off in a different direction. And so when it's all written and I kind of get to that final point, I'm like, okay, what do I want to say in the beginning? And I felt like, you know, this story is, you know, it is a story that I feel like has an unexpected path for the readers, and Gray is a part of that. And so it was my way of kind of connecting the ending back to the beginning. And it's very subtle, so I don't know how many readers actually like got that around, but it's basically that first chapter. It's for anybody that hasn't read the book yet, that what she read, that's it. That's the prologue, that paragraph. There's nothing else. And that essentially kind of sums up the book, in my opinion, from Gray's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I wrote that. And you know, I wrote that. I mean, those are my words. That's my thoughts. And I think that it is kind of human nature. You know, no matter what happens to us, we feel like we can't handle in the beginning, you know, whatever it is, whether it's, you know, bad news, or whether it's a loss of job, or a loss of a loved one, or whatever, you know, gets put on our plate, or whatever happens to us, we feel, you know, overwhelmed by it in the beginning. But somehow as humans, hope and faith, I feel like, for tomorrow and to get better, you know, is what keeps us just pushing on no matter what. And, you know, we all say, oh my God, I could never do that. Or, oh my God, I couldn't imagine, you know, if you have a neighbor that's going through a tough situation, or they've, you know, been diagnosed with cancer, or they lost their mother, or they lost their child. I mean, oh my God, for a parent to lose their child. I mean, like, that makes me sick just thinking about
Mm-hmm.
that. cannot even imagine for someone out there who's experienced that, because there are people that have. I cannot imagine the daily struggle to get up and go forward every day.
You're right.
But we as humans, like, we do, no matter how bad, you know, the situation gets, I feel like, you know, not, and it's not to say that there aren't people that, you know, struggle more, or everybody's situation is different, but somehow we manage to, like, you know, hang on to that hope and faith and continue on to the next day. And so I feel like that was my way of kind of bringing the story full circle right from the beginning. If you were paying attention and you remembered that quote from the beginning, you would kind of have that aha moment at the end of the book. So that's why.
Yeah, I full disclosure, I haven't finished the book, but I can't wait to finish it, because after only reading so many chapters, like I'm dying to find out what happens. Like I can't wait. And a lot of your reviewers say there's a cliffhanger, and you know that they, you know, some of the reviewers said they read the book in 2 nights, and this and that, and all that kind of stuff. And I want that to be me. I want to finish the book. I had a 5-day migraine, SR, and I just there was just no way I was going to be able to finish the book in time.
No, I
so
totally
but I will finish. But I do have a few things that I want to talk to you, because I have I do have some I want to know about the popsicles and poetry. I want to, like, when I read that, when I just read, it says, I need help setting up for popsicles and poetry. And I'm thinking, oh, how cute. They're going to have poetry with little kids. No, it says here, Popsicles and Poetry is my latest event. It was an adult-only evening of poetry reading. Bring your own bottle and Hawaiian Punch popsicles, each filled with vanilla vodka. Tell me about that. I need to know this.
So I just totally, I made it up. And I got the idea from, so my neighborhood where I live goes totally like all out for Halloween. I mean, it's crazy how we have more houses like extravagantly decorated for Halloween than we do for Christmas. So we got a lot of houses decorated for Christmas too, but we probably have 1,000 kids. I spend a fortune on Halloween candy, and there's always a neighbor that walks around with a wagon, like a kid's wagon, full of Jello shots for the adults.
Oh, this is genius.
Yes. So you, as like basically you don't even make the kids come to your door. Like, people set up by the street. You know, we always have a table. We have Halloween music playing. We have this big dragon that lights up. And anyway, so the neighbor that walks around with the, you know, that pulls the wagon with the popsicles or the Jello shots is what kind of gave me that idea. And so yeah, I whipped it up. I've never been to an event that's called Popsicles and Poetry that served Hawaiian Punch popsicles with vanilla vodka. I think it would be really super awesome if somebody wanted to have that event, but I totally made it up.
I love it. That's going to be like the first barbecue I have. I'm going to have to make those.
I love it. That's great.
I do too. I'm like, oh wow, this is going to be a good book. And I love how you put like the bookshop in the book. I always love reading books that have like a bookstore in it. I don't know why, but I just do. I just do.
Bookstores for a reader makes us feel so good. And I will tell you about that part in the book. I don't know how many readers caught this. Nobody has commented on it yet, but I always, in all of my books, it's kind of become my thing now, where I want to leave a little nugget. So in Call Her Janie, Lizzie was reading The Secrets We Conceal, which was my debut novel. So, and she's just sitting on a bench reading The Secrets, you know, The Secrets We Conceal. And then in this book, the Secrets We Conceal, the main characters were Tom and Laura. In this book, Keeping Janie, during Popsicles and Poetry, there's a guy named Tom that gets up to read a poem to his wife named Laura, and they are visiting from out of town and happen to be attending this, you know, event at this quaint little bookstore in Southport. So that was kind of on purpose. Well, it's not kind of, it is on purpose. I always try to connect them in some way, shape, or form. And then Janie's Hope will have a little nugget in as well for the readers who are reading all the books to kind of be like, oh, isn't that funny? You know, I remember those characters.
Yeah, a a little Easter egg in each one. I love it.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
I love that idea. I think that's genius.
Yeah, it's fun.
What else do I have? Oh, I also wanted to say that this is a fabulous book for book clubs, because there's a lot to talk about. You know, with what's going on with Lizzie, what's going on with Gray, and I don't know about this person, Catalina. Am I saying her name right?
Yes, Catalina. Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think I'm going to like her, but we'll see.
Yeah. So
But when I
so
was talking, go ahead.
Catalina is Kit from the first book. So we met Catalina in Call Her Janie, but she went by Kit, and she was Gray's wife, and that was her nickname. But you didn't know that. So she was the same person the whole time, but you didn't know Catalina and Kit were the same. And so Lizzie refers to her now as Catalina with her real name, since that is her name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna like her. But I loved how you, when you started that chapter, when I was reading it, I didn't know who when it, because she was saying I, and I'm like, Lizzie was in jail, like, and I'm saying to myself, this has got to be like a Netflix movie. Just with the few chapters I read, like the way you're setting everything up, like you're just giving, like you said, like a little nugget here, a little nugget there, and then you have to finish watching or finish reading just to find out, well, who is this person? Why is she in jail? Why did I think it was Lizzie at first and now it's Catalina? And who is she? And I just love how you set that up. I really, really do. And especially for someone who is a mathematician, didn't like reading until their 20s, and then you decided to write just because you wanted to let your husband know about your past and whatnot, which then that turned into a fabulous book. And then you started writing these books, and it's not even like you had like professional training. Is that right? In terms of writing?
No, I have no professional training. It's funny, actually, I had two math professors reach out to me when I published the first book, and they
Oh,
were like, "You published a book?" Question mark. Like, holy cow! Like, what in the world, So it's pretty funny. Yeah, you're right. All of those things are very true. I did not like reading, and I did not like writing. I did do well, like in English, but I never really enjoyed it. And then, yeah, in my mid-20s, I started devouring books. And I would love to say that was only a few years ago, but it's been a lot of years ago. And so, so I've read quite a few books since then. And, I feel like I'm learning and getting better with every book that I write. At least I hope that's how my readers feel. I feel like I'm, getting better for sure. Just practice, and the more you do it, the better you get.
absolutely. But I'm very, very impressed. And like I said, with the book club, so everybody has a lot to talk about in terms, this, because there's a lot of sides you could choose and whatnot. But also, you were very, very smart about putting some book club questions in the back of the book. I have a book club, and I can't tell you how many times, you look in the back of the book and there's no questions. So it's like, oh, great. Now I have to like figure some questions out because I run the book club. So I'm like, now I got to figure out some questions, or I look up on the author's website, or they don't have any questions. So I'm so happy that you did this.
Awesome. Yeah, I love to do that because I think I've been a part of book clubs, and it is hard sometimes to kind of come up with the questions. And I figure, maybe you use the questions, maybe you don't, but the questions at least spur questions. So,
Absolutely.
it should be helpful to some degree. And I want, more people to read the book. I would love for it to be in tons of book clubs. And I think it's a fun one there's a lot to talk about, kind of who you like, who you don't like at the end. Did you agree, disagree? I mean, there's a whole lot of that. I don't want to give anything away, but there's
Yeah, what's
plenty
going
to
to happen
discuss.
at the end? Because there was another cliffhanger. You don't know what's going to happen in book
Right.
three. So I think it's great, and I love when book clubs do every book that's in the series because it's fun. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's kind of like you're saying, you're welcoming back your old friend.
Agree.
What else?
I can tell you a little bit about my bookshop fundraising that we're getting ready
Yeah,
to
you know
do.
what? I wrote that down. Tell me about that.
So, as you know, obviously we talked about dance already. My husband and I both have been involved in youth sports our whole lives, coaching and running youth sports organizations. And as I got into the books and writing, I was kind of thinking like, how can we, I don't know, how can we kind of make this more of a living, or just a good side hustle. Writing the books are fun, but any of the authors out there know, like, it's not the glamorous, the glamorous thing that everybody thinks it is. And so anyway, the Bookshop fundraising is a business that we are starting. That's an online bookshop that will be a fundraiser for youth organizations. So a youth soccer team or band or,
Oh,
whatever can sign up for a fundraiser. They'll get a link with a website with a bunch of books in it, and they get 50% of the profit of the books that they sell. And so I'm in the process right now of working with other authors to get, because I obviously write what I write. I don't write children's books or young adult or middle grade or, I don't write all kinds of books. So I'm looking for authors that are in all the
ooh,
different
okay.
genres
I can help you
to
with
jump
that.
on. That would be great, to jump on the bookshop, and it will just be another avenue to sell their books. And so I'm super excited about it. It's going to help kids. And then the main website will also have its own bookshop. So if anybody were to go to the actual main website and purchase a book from the main website, we're going to donate 25% to a reading type of charity and 25% to an MS charity. As you know, I was recently diagnosed with MS, so we want to support the MS charity as well. So
I
we're super excited. It hasn't
love
officially launched yet,
that.
but it'll be happening in a few months. And then I'm also going to be down the road a little ways, maybe providing some author services and helping them learn how to best market their books. So
That's so wonderful. I'm so happy for you guys. I'm sure your husband's involved in this too.
absolutely, he's
Yeah,
super
he
excited. Yeah,
is. He is your biggest cheerleader.
he is.
That's wonderful. That is such a nice thing to do. I definitely know some authors that write children's books. They might not be like, I might not show it on my Instagram page or anything, but I do know them,
Perfect. Send
and
them my
they
way.
would be so happy to be involved in that and whatnot. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's such a great.
that
That's
would be
great.
great. So yeah, definitely send them my way. Children's books, middle grade, young adult, even like, horror, thriller. I'm trying to keep the books somewhat, I'm not going to do any type of like dark fantasy or super crazy erotica. Like it is a fundraiser. Not that the kids are going to be buying those books, but I am trying to keep it, you know,
I
um,
got you.
so yeah, so it doesn't have to just be children's books.
Oh no, no,
I
no,
mean,
I knew that. I just meant like I didn't want you to think like I know a lot of children's authors, even though I might
gotcha.
not represent
I
them.
got you. I got
Um, and
Perfect.
they
Yeah,
have lovely,
definitely
lovely,
send
lovely
them.
books.
Definitely send them my way. I think it's a win-win for everybody. It's a great way to help authors like me sell their books, and it's also going to help youth organizations raise the money that they need. And
Yeah.
then on top of that, an additional opportunity to support. We've got 3 different reading fundraisers we're kind of digging into to see which one we want to support. But one is for like foster children, to provide books to foster children.
That's
One
nice.
is provides pajamas and books to like underprivileged kids, and then the other one is helps like children and adults who have literacy needs to get books. And so we're just kind of vetting the 3 and trying to decide which one we want to go with. And then
That's so nice. You don't realize until you start thinking about it who could use a book. You know what I'm saying? Like who could really use, like right now I'm doing a fundraiser for Mondays at Racine, which is a cancer organization. And they have their own library. Their headquarters happens to be here in New York. And they have like a whole thing set up so when patients could come in and they could pick a book out of the library or, give a book, take a book type of thing. Sometimes they put the books in little gift bags. And also my book club has done many book drives for mental health issues.
yeah,
So many kids that are in the hospital, like in a psych psych ward, even if it's a temporary one, there's not much for them to do, so they need books, and a lot of times they take the books home with them because they want to finish reading them, so they constantly need books. So you could start thinking about it, and there's all these people that could use books. So I love that you're doing this. This is a fantastic thing.
We're super excited. It'll be launching soon. I'm in the process of getting the authors collected so that we can, launch it. So definitely send anybody my way that you think, has a great book and would want to be a part of it. I will gladly meet with them for sure. So we're excited.
No, it's so exciting. I love that.
Once Janie's Hope is done, I already have another book ready to planned. It's in my head and down on some notes to write. So that'll be a standalone. So I've got more books coming.
Okay, wait a minute. Back up a second. So you have Janie's Hope coming out,
hopefully this year. Yeah.
Right. Okay. We're crossing our fingers. I know you can do it. And then you have another book that you're thinking about writing?
I have another book that won't be part of the Southport series. It's a standalone at the moment. Who knows? Maybe it'll turn into a trilogy, but it's a standalone. I'm considering Tom and Laura being the characters for that book, although it won't be connected. I mean, although it won't be like a sequel, it's just going to be those characters.
I love that.
I think a lot of people
think that's a good idea.
I think a lot of people really love Tom and Laura, so it would be another book with them as the characters, kind of what's going on in their life, now. And so that's my plan for after Janie's Hope is finished and published. So I've got that kind of coming up in the pipeline.
And that's going to be is it going to be a thriller romance or just romance?
I'm gonna stick to romantic suspense. I think is kind of my lane. I feel like I'm pretty good there. So that'll be kind of where we, all of my books. I feel like. Maybe I'll dabble in some other genres at some point, but I think that's where I shine. So I'll stay there.
Yeah, write what you know, right?
Yep.
That's terrific. Now, tell us a little bit about the all these awards. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about all these awards that you're winning. For writing these books. Can you tell us a little bit about how do you do that? And, what is the, the title that you want, in terms of the title of the contest that you won? Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about your accolades. Let's do some bragging.
Yeah. So I had a friend actually who was an author, that was the one that kind of told me, I didn't even know there were, book awards. So she was like, you need to submit your books for some awards. She's like, I think it's really great. And you want to do that. It helps kind of get you some recognition. And so I was like, okay. So I just went online and started searching different book awards. There's a lot out there. And I research and I kind of, there's ones I do for different reasons. And so a lot of them will provide reviews. So one that I really like is called Reader's Favorite. And you get 3 reviews back. And so I think that's helpful because they are, I would almost call them more of a critique review. So you're getting, you're learning essentially. So it is a review, but you're getting some really good feedback to kind of help you with your writing, which I thought was great. There was one, oh my gosh, why can't I think of it right now? It's I can't think of the name, but they actually give you a full kind of synopsis of what they think of your book and where maybe you had some plot holes or what you could have fixed. And so I'm constantly craving that type of knowledge. And so I choose some of the awards because of what they give to the authors. The Book Fest is really great. They do a two-day session. One is for readers and one is for authors. And I feel like you were a bellwether for that one. And they just, they do they have a lot of different speakers and, different things that kind of come on and help the different authors. You can watch, and if you miss it the day of, you can watch it after. And I just think that's so cool, you know? So I'm doing it, I participate in theirs so that I can participate in the event as an author, because I'm constantly trying to, you know, get as much help as I can. Obviously, I have my books professionally edited by 3 or 4 different editors before I put them out into the universe. And I like to work with editors that will also educate me. You know, I want to know why they're suggesting something or why they're changing something, and provide articles and resources to help me get better. And so if I work with an editor that isn't that way, I don't work with them again, because that's I mean, that's fine. They're a great editor, but I want somebody that's going to teach me. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm trying to just build a name and get myself out there. And so I choose different awards, like I said, kind of based on the things that they do for the authors. And then there's some like that I feel like, you know, might be bigger. And so I would like to win those. I've had a few where I didn't win anything, which is kind of a bummer. And I really, I have come like kind of in second a lot. And you're right, it's my dance competitive nature, my coach competitive nature. And I'm like, man, I really just I want to win. Like, I want to be the best book in my category. And winning is cool, you know, like any of the, you know, gold, silver, bronze, whatever. But I'm like, I want to be the best book in my category. And finally, Call Her Janie did win a gold medal with the Book Fest, which I thought was really, that was super exciting. I was so pumped to find out. It was actually, they notified me like a day late. I kept logging on to my portal. There was no information, and I'm like, wow, I'm surprised. Like, I didn't at least, you know, get a bronze. I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, well, okay, whatever, it's all right, you know. And then the next day, I wasn't even like, I had moved on, and the next day I woke up and there was an email in my
You're already looking
inbox.
for another contest to win.
Right. Like, I was like, well, that's a bummer. And I moved on to whatever else I was doing. And I opened up my email and it was like, congratulations. And I, you know, went to my portal and I was like, oh my God, you know, I won a gold medal. This is so exciting. It's my first one. Like, I was the best book in my category. So that was really super, exciting. And I think, you know, you talked about speaking. I really do. I do a lot of business and marketing speaking. And I would love to do that in the author world. You know, I'm definitely not, I feel like, I know what I know and I know what I don't know. And so when it comes to writing, I am certainly not an editor. I don't necessarily think I'm the best person to advise an author per se on, you know, I feel like I'm still learning all of that, you know. But when it comes to time management, organizing your book, you know, different editing and why it's important, and marketing and how to market and build a brand. That is where I feel like I have so much knowledge from my background of 25 years that I can really help authors. And so that's kind of my next like hurdle, is I would love to tap into that world as a speaker. I feel like I've written enough books now. I have enough history that maybe somebody would take a chance on me, that, you know, I would be a worthy speaker at an author event. I think it's in my nature. I love to serve others and give. Like you said it in the very beginning, you know, I like to give and pour myself into what I'm doing and into people who are doing what I'm doing, you know. So I don't have all the answers when it comes to writing, but I do feel like I have a lot of things that I could do to help other authors. And I have to take a minute. I just noticed that it looks like my child has just joined this live, and she is in school. Missy, why are you not in class listening to your teacher and you're watching this live? Although I think it's kind of cool that you hopped on to see your mom.
Oh,
live.
that is so sweet. That is so sweet. You know, you have such a supportive family. That is so cute. You can't be too mad at her.
No, I'm not.
Maybe it's lunchtime. You don't know. You don't know.
It could be. You're right. It could be lunchtime.
Because usually the kids have to, like, I know in my school district, they have to put their phones in like one of those, it's like a shoe caddy.
Yeah.
But you put your phone in when you walk in.
I wish they would do that, but they don't do that.
They don't?
No, I don't think they're supposed to have them out. They have to keep them in their backpacks.
Yeah.
So the teacher sees them. They tell them
They can't trust them.
You know, she's a junior, and so her schedule is kind of like, I don't know, it's random. She's got a lot of like free time where she's able to do homework and whatnot at this age. She did dual enrollment, and so her schedule's kind of crazy. So she might be in a break right now, but I wanted to let her know I saw her on here. So
that is too cute. You're going to be looking for colleges and stuff soon, or you might even already started.
We are. I actually feel like I'm a little behind on that. We should be doing that. We should have been doing it already, but because I have been
you're all right. You're fine.
Well.
You're good. Just do all your visiting over the summer.
Yes. for sure.
You got this. Don't worry.
I appreciate
All right.
it.
I had a few more questions. What book is on your night table? Like right now?
I will say on my night table, I actually only have 2 journals for my kids. So I wrote a blog about this actually about
Huh.
3 years ago, or no, it was before COVID. So it must have been 5 or 6 years ago. I bought a leather bound, just blank, lined journal, one for my son, one for my daughter. It's got like an embossed little poem on the front, and I write to them. Sometimes it might be
Oh,
every day, like sometimes it might be every night, sometimes it might be a year passes, but I write little notes to them. And so I figure when I'm not here one day, or maybe when they get married, I don't know, like I'll just give them the journal full of all the little like mom words of wisdom. So that's what's on my nightstand. I don't actually have a
oh,
book.
what a beautiful gift.
Yeah, so my mom passed away when I was 21,
Oh,
and
wow.
she did not do that, but she had a journal when she got sick. So she got diagnosed with cancer, and it was so fast, and she months later, it was all just a whirlwind. And I think along the process, someone had told her to journal like her thoughts, and that would help her kind of through her day. And so I remember reading that journal and just feeling like it was just a way that I could be connected to my mom.
Yeah.
And then 7 years later, when I had my daughter, my aunt gave me a crocheted blanket that my mother made for my daughter before she died.
Uh-huh.
And those 2 things, like they just meant so much to me. And my daughter still to this day, as a junior in high school, her friends are going to kill me if they're watching this, but she still sleeps with that blanket on her bed from my mother.
Oh,
That just touches my heart. And so I wanted to kind of have something like that for my kids. So I started journaling. So that's what's on my nightstand. But next to my chair in my office, which I'm in my office right now, I have the bit dance. So that's on I have an end table next to my chair. And these are where I put my books that I'm reading. So this is the bit dance. It is by Tilmer Wright. And he is an author, friend of mine. We're in an author group together called Crippled Beagles. Royal, oh my God. Royal Regal Beagles, that's what it's called. Why could I not think of that? Regal Beagles. Crippled Beagle Publishing is the entity, but they have a author support group, essentially, for lack of a better way to term it.
mhm.
And it's called Regal Beagles. And so he's in the Regal Beagles, and I'm reading his book right now, The Bit Dance. So it's like a sci-fi, like a young adult kind of sci-fi. So I'm enjoying it so far.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice. Okay, that's good. I'm going to ask you something really
Okay.
quick. This or that?
Okay.
Beach or lake?
Beach.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Chips or pretzels or whatever?
Both. I don't want to. Both. I don't want to decide.
Oh, okay. Wine or spirits?
Ooh, neither. Vodka.
Okay.
I know that's not how you play the game, but I'm just being honest.
That's okay. I have some. It's a chips or pretzels. Someone will go Doritos. There's no right or wrong answer. I was just curious. Are you like a steak and potato person or like a pasta person?
Ooh, definitely pasta. I'm Italian.
Yeah, I have a feeling you were going to say that. And what show are you binge watching on Netflix right now?
I am actually not binge watching. My husband and I just started a new show. I cannot remember the name of it, but it's like coming out every week, so we can't binge it.
Is it
And I've been
Halo?
no. What is the show that we're watching right now? Apple TV. Yes. Constellation.
Oh, I don't
Apple TV.
know that one. Is that on Netflix or a different channel?
It's on Apple
Oh,
TV.
Apple. Okay.
I'm
And what
not
was it?
binging it because it comes out weekly. Constellation.
You know what? I think I kind of like that better, like the once a week thing, because you look forward to it. I don't know. It might be old fashioned, but
sit down and watch it. The last show that we binge watched though was Lessons in Chemistry. My husband just reminded me. He came out of his office and he was like, Constellation, Lessons in Chemistry.
I'm glad he's listening.
He's always got my back.
That is so sweet. You're a very, very lucky woman to have a husband so supportive of your work, of your writing, of everything that you do.
I agree. He's a pretty awesome guy.
So I just earned you some brownie points.
Yes, you did.
What is the weirdest thing that you ever used for a bookmark?
Oh God. I don't know that this is weird, but like a piece of yarn.
Yeah, I think that would be a little weird.
Okay.
I mean, I heard of like a napkin or like back in the old days a matchbook, but I don't think I've ever heard of a piece of yarn. That's a good one. I like that
Yeah.
one. I've used my earbuds
Oh, that'll work.
because I didn't want to dog. I didn't want to dog ear the book, so I would just kind of like throw my earbuds in. I don't know. And then I also wanted to ask you, do you have like any like writing superstitions or writing rituals or like just something that like, you have to do or you can't do while you're doing your writing? You know what I mean?
I would say not yet, but generally, I do feel like I write better and I feel less like I'll be stressed out when I'm writing if my house has to be in order, my work has to be done, and then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to sit down and write. If I have my house a mess and I have work still to get done, like my actual day job work to still get done, I feel like tense when I'm writing because I
Mm-hmm.
know that other things are like,
Yeah,
so
you can't concentrate because there's too much going on, like,
correct.
that you're thinking about.
Yeah, so it's not really a
Totally get that.
superstition. It's just, I don't know. That's how I prefer it to be. So, yeah.
No, totally get that. Is there anything else that you wanted to tell us about your beautiful book? Keeping Janie, the first book, Calling Janie, second book, Keeping Janie, and then her third book isn't out yet, but it will be hopefully by the end of this year. What is it? I always forget. Janie's Hope.
Janie's Hope. Yep.
So do you have anything else you would like to mention? Maybe mention where they could find your books or find you?
Yeah, of course. So my website is srfabrico.com, and I'm actually working on a new one. So I'll have a new website up soon. You can go to it now, but there'll be a new one. It's going to be super fabulous. All of my books are on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Keeping Janie, Call Her Janie, and Keeping Janie are in Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read the books. You can read the books for free. You can get my other books also on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. All of my journals are available on Barnes and Noble. I'm sorry,
And they're
Amazon as
all
well.
beautiful. I will
Yeah.
say that all the journals are well worth it.
I will give a shout out to the Paper House. Their designer there, his name is Mo. He does all of my covers, and I feel like that my covers are beautiful. I do love my covers. And so I'll give a shout out to him and the Paper House. They have helped me on this journey and, help with the covers. And I think they've done a fantastic job. So,
Beautiful.
yeah. Instagram,
Now,
you
what
can follow
about
me on
audiobooks?
all social media is all SR Fabrico as well. SR Fabrico author on social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. I think that TikTok, although I don't make a lot of recordings on TikTok, I'm trying to get better about that, but I'm on there. And what was your last question? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're good.
Audiobook. What's going on with that? I'm an audiobook person.
Yeah,
Like I
so that's actually a great question. So The Secrets We Conceal is available on audio. So that was my debut novel. It is available now on audio. It's been available for maybe about a year
very
on
good.
audio. And then I do plan I was going to do the audiobook of Call Her Janie. I actually have a vocalist all set and ready to go. So Evelyn, if you see this, she is going to do the audiobooks for me. But right when I was releasing Call Her Janie is when I got sick. And so I told her like, hey, I'm just going to wait. I got to get through this. And then I've been sick for almost a year. And so I'm going to wait now. So once Janie's Hope is out, I hope to have all three audio of all the books, the whole series, just drop all at one time. So
That's wonderful to hear because it's a market that not everybody has tapped into yet. So it's good to get on. The sooner the better.
yes, for sure, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for coming on. I had a lot of fun with
Yeah, me
you.
too. Thank you for having me.
And your book tour, I mean, if anybody else is watching, The book tour is still going on. I can't even tell you how many 5-star reviews this book has gotten, Keeping Janie. Everyone has loved the book so far. You do not have to read the first book, Call Her Janie. You don't have to read that one first. You could, just read Keeping
I
Janie
agree. You
as a
could read
standalone.
Keeping. I think it's a better experience if you read them both.
It is, but you
But
don't have to.
I did make Keeping Janie so you didn't have to read Call Her Janie.
Yes, yes. I absolutely recommend reading both, but if you had to choose,
Yep.
and you wanted to jump on the wagon, for Keeping Janie, you could, but I definitely recommend reading all of the books, especially the third one that's going to come out hopefully the end of this year.
Yes, I'm holding up my books. I know you can't see me, but I'm holding them up and smiling.
Oh, good.
Call Her Janie, Keeping Janie. It's a super fun, small town, romantic suspense, really good book to just kind of lose yourself in and just have a good read.
Yeah, on the edge of your seat, right?
Yes.
It's like, you just can't wait to, each chapter, you just want to keep on going, keep on going, keep on going.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
coming on. I appreciate
you.
it. And when your next book comes out, we'll have you on again.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.